Welcome to Optimal Health Weekly with your host, Steve Adams. This podcast is for highly driven professionals, CEOs, and entrepreneurs who know health is the first wealth. Join us each week for a mix of expert interviews and solo episodes on health topics relevant to your busy life. Let's elevate your health together.
Well, hello everyone. Mary Grace Rick here from the Tiger Medical team, and here with us is another awesome case study, a patient of Tiger Medical that had great health transformation, and we wanted to share with you what that looked like for Les. So before we start, I want to give context to our audience on about our patient Les. Why did you tell us, Les? Who are you? What was life look like before we get into the nitty-gritty, what I call the nitty-gritty of the transformation that you've been through with Tiger Medical?
Well, I can tell you right now, things are looking much better than where I was last year. I was fortunate enough to find out that Dr. Kessler was in the area through a seminar he had. And yeah, the results are amazing. I wasn't getting anywhere with the regular doctors. Now, the whole story started around June of 2023. Things started falling apart on me. I'm not sure why. It just hit me all of a sudden. My legs were just on fire. I didn't have much energy. So I went to my regular medical doctor, family physician, took blood tests. Didn't get any answers from him. He recommended a rheumatologist. Went through that, more blood tests, and apparently I had a lot of red markers, inflammation. I can't even remember some of the blood tests. There were so many of them. But the final result of that is he basically said there's nothing wrong. He didn't really tell me what I could do about it. He did then recommend a neurologist. I forgot about this. I started having nerve pain down my arm, neck issues, and the legs, like I say, they were still on fire. The neurologist did all those tests where they put the pins in you, and I forgot what that's called. And basically I didn't get any answers from that. He said there's really nothing serious going on. Well, to me, there was. Then I went to an orthopedic, and he told me after MRIs that I had cartilage damage in the knees, which was causing these problems. And he said, surgery might correct it. He wasn't guaranteeing it. I didn't really want to go that route. And so I decided, I waited. I probably waited longer than I should have. In January, I contacted Dr. Kessler, because I wasn't getting anywhere. And I was pretty frustrated. I couldn't bike ride anymore. All my activities I couldn't do. I did end up having carpal tunnel surgery to take care of some of the nerve pain. I left my one job in February because I didn't want to continue on with what was going on with me. And it was outdoor work. I was landscaping. So I left that. So I hooked up with Dr. Kessler, and he asked me lots of questions. He's very thorough, put me right at ease, no rushing. And to summarize it, basically I went through more blood tests. He saw what was going on, and he gave me a protocol to follow, from detox, vitamins, different tests that he had done for me. And it was a slow progression, but day by day, things were getting better and better and better. The other issue that was really hard to do, fruits and vegetables, obviously proper eating, which I was kind of guilty of not eating properly. So that was kind of hard. Old habits are hard to break, but in the long run, it was worth it, because as the months went by, things started getting better and better. My knees, well, I've got like 95%, maybe even more, back to normal. I I can go back to, I'm bike riding again. I'm working outside again with no issues. I have no pain, which is great. And energy. I've got lots of energy. Now I am continuing with the proper eating and still some of the vitamins that he prescribes that, in the long run, just keep doing those things. So overall, I am glad I did it. Disappointed in the medical industry as far as, just kind of not answering my questions. And when was the last blood test? Back in last month, I believe it was. All my results were in the green, which was great. And so I can't complain. I'm happy as all get out. So.
Wow, that's amazing results. Think about it. I mean, 95%. That is huge.
Oh yeah.
And that is considering. So you started in, was it February this year?
Yes.
When you came back, yeah.
Yep.
And we're now in November.
And I actually started getting better a couple months back. I was kind of leery. I was afraid to start going too hard.
Yeah.
But nothing happened. I mean, I was able to really get going on it, and now I'm going full force with my activities and my bike riding.
That is amazing. I think that's what we really wanted, or we at least hope to achieve when we go through this. And it's really frustrating. I get you there, when traditional medicine does not afford us or do with these things that, for example, the functional medicine or the naturopathic, for example, there are things that I'm a healthcare provider and I work in the hospitals, and there are things that I really wish that would change, especially when it comes to functional medicine and preventing things to happen before. I mean, we are so focused on treating the disease versus preventing it, which is really, really not really surprised, because I'm not surprised, but really ironic. I mean, it's ironic to think about it.
Oh yes, and there's so much that happened. Here's another thing, which is I guess a result of what I went through. I had high blood pressure. I was on 20 milligrams of lisinopril. I'm off it now. So that was another positive outlook right there. Another good result. No more blood pressure medicine.
Wow. That is awesome. I love when I hear people getting off their medications and getting off their prescriptions. I mean, think about the many, not just the side effects, but the long-term effects of these medicines into your body. Yes. I could go on and on about that one, but I'm glad that all of this has happened to you, and I have no doubt that this can happen to other people. And that's why we're sharing these experiences from people like you, so that other people can benefit from, can be inspired with. Because at the end of the day, what we really want is to inspire people to take control of their health, because we cannot depend on anyone, but be proactive ourselves for this one. So, okay, so now we know, and congratulations, by the way, for that awesome transformation. I mean, those improvements alone, I mean, that is a huge win. And I'm glad that you shared that one with us. But what I wanted to share more of with our audience is, I want them to see, I want them to envision or to visualize for themselves what was the journey look like. So by the time that you started with the Tiger program, you were in contact with Dr. Kessler. You have a series of things that he helped you do, and most of this is, of course, you did it by yourself. I mean, Dr. Kessler is there guiding you, but a lot of this work is done by you. So what I wanted you to share with our audience is to what were those steps, those little things, or what you said is slow, but it happened. The results really happened, even if you started a bit slow. I want you to walk us through what were those steps that you did that with the Tiger Med, with Dr. Kessler, so that in the minds of our audience, we want them to envision, to like visualize what is Tiger Medical will do to me to get this transformation that Les has received.
Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily say I was skeptical, but I was desperate. And I felt very comfortable with Dr. Kessler. And to backtrack a bit, I knew him not very well, but from years ago, my daughter went to him for a short time frame. And so I did remember the name. But anyway, he was telling me all the steps I had to take. And I didn't deny any one of them. That's how bad I wanted it and how bad I wanted to get better. So that part wasn't that bad as far as following his orders. I was in the military, so I could follow orders pretty good. The bad habits I had were probably the most difficult. Changing my eating habits took a while. I didn't do it right away. It was like little steps here and there to throw in a vegetable, stop eating this and that, and not buying certain foods anymore. Obviously, he advocated a lot of natural foods, not processed. And I was guilty of eating out a lot, fast foods. So that was kind of hard to do because, you enjoy your fried chicken. But I did little by little. And he told me, he said, don't feel pressured to rush into this because obviously if you could falter if you push yourself too hard. And I listened to him, but I took hold of it, and slowly but surely I got away from a lot of stuff. Sugar was hard to get away from, but I did. I still cheat a little bit with sugar. But overall, it was good. And I'm glad I did it. I didn't think I would. And I actually start to like vegetables, believe it or not. So yeah, it can be done. There's no doubt. You put your willpower to it, and just go forward.
Can you say that what will help you with this changing this habits? I mean, I agree with it. It's one of the hardest things to change the habits that we are so used to, and change is difficult. Change is foreign to us.
Yeah.
And our mind don't like that.
Well, I can tell you one thing. My personality is competitiveness. I've always been that way. I have my military buddy I've known for 30 years. We're always competing, and we talk about health a lot, and we egg each other on when it comes to that. And so I took this as a competition that I'm not going to fail. I'm going to just keep on going because that was my mindset. I don't like to fail. So I sucked it up and said, yeah, I'm just going to do it. I didn't know what else to do other than, hey, I want to get better. So I better do this.
So would you say that those were one of the things that motivated you? That you you don't want to fail in this one, that you want to get better. I want our audience to also think of, I mean, there's willpower, there's discipline, but there's not, I would say there's more that they need, but not just discipline and willpower. You have to be motivated by it. You have to have that mindset of, oh, I want this,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Also, over the years, as I've watched people that I've worked with, there are guys and gals that I work with are in really bad medical conditions. Some have died at a younger age. And I always think about that. Why would I let myself get that way? Why wouldn't I push myself? I don't want to. I want to live a little bit longer and enjoy life. And I've seen some stuff with my charity work. With one of the worst cases I saw was a young man who's losing his foot because of diabetes, 30 some odd years old. I don't want to go to that route. And all these things that I've seen in the past really help motivate me to say, okay, I don't want to be sick. I want to get better. That's one of the things you can look at the people outside. What do they look like? Can they walk? Can they, walk 10 steps without, hyperventilating or, breathing hard. And all that just was always in my head. Like I say, I've always been concerned about my health. And so that's another way to look at it. So that's a good motivation right there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Every time when I'm out, for example, walking, and I see people that are hardly able to walk.
Yeah.
I could see myself in the future. Wow, do I want to be like that when I get to that stage?
Yeah.
If that doesn't motivate you, I mean, I get scared, and of course, we're human. It's hard to be so rigid, and I don't think it's not fun to be too rigid. But then at the same time, if you know that you are motivated by being healthy and being fit, and this is your priority, then you will do everything for it, because it's all about prioritize what is important to you, prioritizing what's important to you. So if health is important, then you make that one a priority.
Well, the other thing is, you don't have to look at it as I'm going to become, a world-class athlete. It's just a matter of feeling better and just doing the normal things in life. I've always been into athletics anyway, so that's my mindset. But other people, they can look at it as just, hey, let me just feel better and do the things I just want to do, walking, hiking, and just feeling better. You don't have to go for that full gusto and think that's where you got to be.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of just feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And everything. I mean, I see my parents when during a later age, I felt like, wow, if I can get to that stage, no medications, no diagnosis of chronic diseases. I mean, that is, I think, because I remember what my mom used to say, that nothing is more important when you are healthy than being healthy again, which is really true. So if that's important to you, we make that one a priority. I love it.
Steve Adams here from Tiger Medical Institute. Do you ever feel like you're operating at less than 100%? It's time to take control of your health with the True Health Assessment by Tiger Medical. Get comprehensive blood screening to identify hidden health risks before it's too late. Our team of Mayo-trained and naturopathic physicians will analyze your results and provide a custom plan to optimize your well-being. Don't let underlying issues hold you back. Invest in your most valuable asset, your health. For the price of a daily chai latte from Starbucks, you can gain priceless insights and a roadmap to peak performance. Visit truehealthassessment.com, truehealthassessment.com today, and unlock your full potential. Because when you feel your best, you can achieve your best. That's true health.
So for our audience who are watching right now and who are listening, so you have had some blood tests. The Dr. Kessler found out what those markers are. He prescribed some supplements for you, and also the diet and lifestyle changes. So these are not a new thing for people. Diet, lifestyle changes, we all know this one. But the problem is, without the guidance of somebody that can help hold you accountable, or that keeps you inspired or motivated, or keep reminding you that, oh, what is your goal? What is your health goal? It's really hard just depending on willpower or discipline. And so with having that guidance, for sure helps. I mean, I myself, I like that somebody is reminding me, or at least I'm accountable to somebody.
Well, it's like having a coach. And
yes.
And that's what really helps is, okay, I'm going to listen to my coach. Why would I not listen to him? And so that does help when you have somebody to guide you along step by step, and always open to any questions that I had. It was so easy to talk to him versus, I always feel uncomfortable with physicians. They kind of want you in that 15-minute time frame and you're done. It's like they want to rush you out of there. But, with Dr. Kessler, got any questions? And, he didn't rush at all. And, that was it felt very comfortable to be with him and go through that.
So at any time you were working with Dr. Kessler, were there any chance that you felt like, oh, the protocol or what he was prescribing to you or what he was suggesting to you was hard to follow? Or were there any challenges implementing those?
Okay. Seeing how would I word this? I use stick-em notes for a lot of stuff. So there were some vitamins and you had to take them at, certain times, 30 minutes before food or 2 hours after. So I had to write it all down on a piece of paper just so I wanted to do it right. And it's not that difficult, but that's just how I was able to get through it. Some people might have a better memory and they know, they don't have to do that. But overall, it really wasn't. I set a protocol where I would do certain things in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. I kind of split it up to make it easier. And that's how I got through it. But it's doable. It really is.
Yeah. One of the things that people ask about are the food choices. Was it difficult for you for the food choices to follow?
Well, considering my bad eating habits, I wouldn't say it was really bad, but I was not a vegetable eater. Like I said earlier, I like to go out to eat. My wife and I always went out to lunch, and we picked the best places, Whataburger, fried chicken. So that, we had to kind of stop that. And it did help. My wife was on board with me. That helped a lot also. I forgot about that. So I don't know, not everybody might be as picky as me when it comes to food. So that was my Achilles heel, just changing and eating the better foods and eating more vegetables, obviously more fruits. But after a while, it felt good. So I'm loving it now. I got all sorts of frozen fruits in the freezer. I make smoothies. I follow I call it the super shake that he told me about. Yeah, it's all doable.
So how soon those habits changed from the time that you started with all these new habits that you are enforcing?
Okay, yeah, let's see, February, March, April, May, probably about 4 months for me when I started saying, yeah, this is getting a lot easier now. Like I say, my wife was good with it. She would buy the stuff, and say, okay, did you eat your vegetables? You eating your fruit? But yeah, about 4 months in is when I said, yeah, this is getting a lot easier. And it's more enjoyable. And when you eat right, your energy levels get better. You feel much better. So I can't complain about that. It's a better feeling.
All right. So now that we have covered the process that you did with Dr. Kessler, what I want to cover now for our audience is to maybe share with us in detail, or as much as you can, or as much as you possibly want our audience to know, what is life looking now? Now that, okay, how many months now after the initial contact with Dr. Kessler? So what I want the audience to hear from you is what you currently are experiencing now that they can look forward to. What are the continued transformation that you are having? I know that you are back biking now. Your knee is much better. You're eating. You're liking the new way of eating. Your lifestyle has changed. Those great transformation that you have experienced while going through this Tiger Medical program, so that the others watching right now or listening right now will know what can they expect when they go through this program like you just did.
I would say initially you might have a bumpy road if you're not used to doing what's involved in it, because you have to be dedicated to it in order for it to work. But like I say, it is doable. And in the long run, you will appreciate what is happening, how your body transforms. I'll never look back. I'm hoping to continue on. I am on a vitamin protocol and I will continue that. Pretty much, I don't have to see Dr. Kessler anymore. Maybe if I have an issue, I can, talk to him again. But my transformation is pretty much complete right now. And I will continue with the healthy eating habits. We already broke the bad habits as eating out in these places. So if you're feeling bad now, you're going to feel great if you go through the process. In the end, you're going to appreciate what you went through because you're going to feel so much better. I can't express enough how good I feel. Now that I hate to say it's done, I don't think it's ever done because you're going to have to continue eating properly. That is a big key right there. And we know that the food industry and the processed foods, they're easy to get, easy to eat. So it's a little bit of a hard habit to break. But once you do, and you start feeling better, I don't see how you can go back to feeling. And I'll give you an example. I was just traveling, and we eat out on the road. That doesn't feel good when you eat junk again. So yeah, it wakes you up and say, no, we can't go back to this. Granted, you're not going to be perfect all the time when you're on the road. But it really is an eye opener to say, okay, yeah, I don't want to go back there because it just made me feel cruddy. So yeah, it's something to look forward to. Once you get into it and you start feeling better, yeah, it's great.
What does your family say about you for all of this transformation? I bet they're inspired as well.
Oh, my close friends know what I was like, what the pain and the issues I was having. I didn't tell everybody, but the ones that knew what was going on, they figured I would have an operation on my knees and that, I have some deniers that don't believe in functional medicine. Obviously, they and my good friend still pops pills that the physician has. I mentioned to him, Tiger Medical. I said, what do you got to lose? And other people that I know, so I always mention it. But that's their choice. You either want to change or you don't. So yeah, I just wish they would listen. It's not that difficult.
But for those who are open and are really at the crossroad of, I really want to do something about this. I really want to do something about my health before it's too late. What would you tell them? I
would say what's going to happen years down the road. What you're following right now, are you going to get better? Or are you going to, look like some of these people that you see around that just can't get around? They're out of breath. Diabetes is a big thing. Heart issues. Like I say, some of my coworkers unfortunately have passed heart attacks. Some younger than me. And so why would you want to go that route and not fix yourself so you can have a healthy life? Granted, not everyone's going to be up to 90, but can you be comfortable at it as an older age instead of uncomfortable? That's how I look at it. I don't know if I'm going to live till 100. I have no idea. But if I'm comfortable and feel good, that's a plus right there. And like I said, look at some of the people I've seen over the years, what they're like. Even my own parents, how they suffered in the later in life because they weren't eating properly. They didn't really care, what was going on. My mom was unfortunately a heavy drinker. Tried to convince her to always stop, but it's things like that. You got to look ahead. How do you want your life down the road as you retire and you're getting older? So yeah, I think it's important to look at it that way. Look to the future, not just 2 inches in front of your face.
I love it. So for our audience, if it helps for you for your decision process or the way you think about this one, what would you want your future life to look like? I think that's we all need to reflect on that statement and make a priority, whether it's whatever area is in your life, but particularly here, our health, because as they say, health is wealth, is your number one wealth. Without health, nothing is important to you. And so I hope that by listening or watching to this transformation that Les have inspires you to at least do something about it, to start taking charge of your health, and whether it be with Tiger Medical or not, or with other providers or other people that can help you make that choice to prioritize your health. So I think it's a great way to end this interview with Les, with what he says about what do you want your future life to look like. Be inspired. I hope you are inspired by what Les has gone through and what transformation has she gotten because he decided to take control of his health. And so, on behalf of Tiger Med, are there any things that you want to share before we wrap things up?
I would say, what have you got to lose? Why not take that chance to better your life? Too many people give up. They think that's my lot in life. That's not how you should look at it. You got to think positively. There's always room for correction. And that's the way I look at it. And once again, think about your future. How do you want to be 10, 15 years from now? So yeah, it's not that difficult. Habits can be broken. So yeah, I think you should always just give it a try. You've got nothing to lose. That's what I would say.
All right. Thank you so much, Les. It's been wonderful to watch your journey and to listen with what you have done with your life, with your health, with your transformation. And I bet our audience are gonna be inspired with what you've been through. So thank you so much for being so generous in sharing this, and also for your time in here. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of Tiger Medical, thank you so much. And we look forward to inspiring more to go through the transformation that you've gone with Tiger Medical. So again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Steve Adams here from Tiger Medical Institute, talking about the True Health Assessment. What if you could safeguard not just your health, but the well-being of your entire family? With the True Health Assessment from Tiger Medical, you can. Our comprehensive blood screening identifies hidden risks before they become major issues. Our elite team of Mayo Clinic-trained and naturopathic physicians then create a customized plan to optimize your health for years to come. When you prioritize your wellness, you ensure you can be fully present for the people you love most. Don't let preventable issues cut that time short. For less than the cost of a daily latte, you can gain peace of mind and a clear path to sustained vitality. Protect your future and your family's future with True Health Assessment from Tiger Medical at thetruehealthassessment.com. Again, that's at thetruehealthassessment.com.